So at first, I hadn't planned to make an episode in this time, but actually, so I decided anyway. So I decided to make an episode, and anyway, so I should tell you, I'm thinking of finishing this episode for a short time. So anyway, let me tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. And the title is "Some counties in Nevada permit prostitution, don't they?" And the conclusion is prostitution is decriminalized in the United States, isn't it? And anyway, so not roughly saying, maybe. So I have collected or I have investigated the prostitution in the United States, or the status of prostitution in the United States, and most states prohibit prostitution, but actually there are two states which permit prostitution, and one which is Nevada, and the other is the state of Maine. And maybe Nevada permitting prostitution is famous, I think. No, maybe not. That's not so famous, but actually, some people, at least, American people may know that, the state of Nevada permit or allow prostitution, and so, but actually, not all counties permit prostitution, and which means some counties in Nevada permit or accept prostitution, but other counties do not permit prostitution, or they prohibit prostitution. And the other case is the state of Maine, which is maybe recently, and I'm creating this episode in 2023, and recently maybe the state of Maine so decriminalized prostitution. And I investigated the inward of the law in the state of Maine, or in Maine, and so according to online sources I investigated and reached, so they said that in the business of prostitution, there are two parties, one which is selling and the other which is buying, so that prostitution needs demands and supplies, and so in this case, suppliers are sellers or selling people, or they are, so in general they are called prostitutes, and the others are buyers, or how should I say, demanders, and it's a weird word, but actually, so there are, prostitution has buyers, and they pay money. They pay money in exchange for sexual services given by or supplied by prostitutes, but actually, selling people, or so how should I say, so selling prostitution service is decriminalized according to the rule of Maine, but actually, buying sexual services from prostitutes is prohibited in Maine, which is the inward of the law, or of the many laws in state of Maine, in the state of Maine. And anyway, so but actually, so roughly saying, and why I decided to create this episode is that so some Japanese girls are prohibited to enter the American soil. They are, so how should I say? It's I don't think it's proper to use the word we, but actually, there are many Japanese girls who could not get into the American soil because they are suspected as prostitutes, or they were suspected as prostitutes, and maybe this problem is happening, or this problem is an ongoing matter in between the United States of America and my country. And by the way, I live in Japan, and which is why I created this, and which is because so strictly speaking, or so how should I say, considering the how should I say, so considering the details of the business, that is elaborately speaking, so, the United States doesn't prohibit, doesn't prohibit prostitution, and, it's just, the present situation in the United States is that about the prostitution is that, so, so most states, or maybe 48 states prohibit or ban prostitution, but actually, so, which doesn't mean that, all the states prohibit prostitution. So which is because, Nevada and Maine, Nevada, state of Nevada and state of Maine permit prostitution, and in the case of, so buying sexual services is banned in the state of Maine, but actually in some counties in Nevada accept or have legalized buying prostitution service, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So let me tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is some counties in Nevada permit prostitution, don't they? So the conclusion is prostitution is decriminalized in the United States, isn't it? So if you are staff members of some airports in the United States, so I don't think it's good to prevent Japanese people from entering into the soil of America, which is what I'd like you to know this time, and which is another stuff I'd like you to know this time. And if you are staff members of American airports, and I do not like you to, well, I would like you to I'd like you to investigate so fairly, Japanese girls, and I'd like you to accept them, and even though they are prostitutes, I think it's fine that they enter the soil of America, or it's fine that those Japanese prostitutes getting to the territory of the United States of America, which is what I think, and that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you.